Good morning, boys and girls, so it won't be by the time you watch this. Today I was going to do a brew outside, but looking a little bit grim here next to the canal. Well, I say next to the canal, it's not going to be a canal for much longer. It will be a sort of muddy ditch, because they've dammed it up here to protect the water level in Victoria Keys, and the pump's broken and they're not replacing it because of CV. So therefore the canal is gradually draining, and these boats here are both now sat on bottom, so they're not going anywhere. Pretty soon people will be able to just walk across the canal. Anyway, I'm going to take this in and we will start today's brew inside in the warmth of the boathouse. I'm not too worried about the rain, although this is electric. I'm more worried because it's cold and I haven't insulated the mash tun, so I would struggle to keep a consistent mash temperature. Right, back soon then. Oh dear, you're a bit stiff today, are you? Oh, poor you. Now, of course, what I forgot to do, obviously, was to turn the reverse osmosis on yesterday to fill the hot liquor tank. Oh well. What can you say apart from dickhead? So we've got 20 litres in there. It's 11 o'clock. I think it's going to be about 2 or 3 o'clock before we've got a full liquor tank. Not to worry. I quite like afternoon brewing. Back soon. Nearly 2 hours, and we're not doing too bad on here. I am actually going to run it up right up to the rim of here, and then when I take the money yeah, give it a money. When I take the water out for the mash, we'll still be above the Herms coil. Now, I've also done the water additions in here for 50 litres. So basically calcium chloride and calcium sulfate is all I'm going to use in this particular brew. Bit worried, haven't got enough carapils. I'm down on the carapils. So this isn't going to have the mouthfeel and head that I wanted, which is sad because I like a little head. Actually like a lot of head on my New England IPAs. So this is coming up now to full. When it's at full, I've also got the recirculating pump going on, so this is recirculating to keep the temperature fairly even throughout. And then we'll chuck some water into mash tun. I'll get all the grains and that weighed out, and then we'll start as mash. Whoa! We're starting the mash temp water at about 72, because I think when I chuck grains in, it's going to knock it down by about 6 degrees. Although, well, I don't know. We shall see. So, this grain bill ready. The water here is recirculating to keep it in a correct equilibrium. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to chuck the grain in. Right, we are doughed in, mashed in, and didn't get any significant dough balls, so that's always a bonus. I think this is probably now filming upside down. No, it doesn't matter, it's alright. Good. We have I have substituted the spray ball, which I'm just going to use for sparging, which is that, because that just gets, come on, focus, you fucker. Never mind, that gets bunged up too quickly. And I've put this stainless steel tube in there for kind of like vol-off and recircling, because I've got all that in there and it has dropped the temperature, but this will come back up pretty quickly now on the recirc through the Herms. It won't take long for that to get up to 66. And so then we set the timer and give it, oh, I can't remember how long it is. I think it's 60 minutes. This mash, we shall see. What I have done is change the angle of that so it goes towards the back, because the PT100 probe is down there. What was happening was, by the time the recirc going through the Herms had come in here, by the time the temperature had risen to the point where the PT100 is, all the rest of it was bonkersly hot. So this way we should have slightly more consistent temperature. Unfortunately it has overshot because of that, and we're up to, fuck it, nearly 70 degrees. So try and cool this down as quickly as possible down to our 66, and then I think the Herms will be an awful lot more effective coming down that side. It's all about learning, boys and girls. It's all about learning. But that's looking good anyway. I'm not sure what sort of efficiency we'll get, but we shall see. We shall see. Right. Temperature compensated, sort of. 5.7 on the Blue Lab, 535 on the cheapo Amazon one. But either way, it's within acceptable levels. So, not displeased with that. Good pH. We are at the end of the mash, the monster mash and all that. So I'm restricting the flow. I've changed the output from here so it no longer goes through the Herms. It goes straight into this sight glass. So this is kind of like the vol off, and I'll let that go for about five odd minutes or so until that clears up a little bit. And then as that clears, it's not going to go completely clear because this is a designed to be a cloudy beer, if that makes sense, but that will be clearer. And then after we've got a nice grain bed filter, as it were, I will swap this out for the spray ball, and then we will take water from HLT through the Herms to clean that out and through the sight glass, and that will then be our sparge. Then after we've sparged enough to flush all the lovely sweetie goodness out of those grains, we will come from here through this pump out into the boiler, and then we set it boiling for, I think this one's an hour and 15 minutes, I'm not sure. Yep, hour and 15 minutes, 75 minutes. It's already starting to smell lovely in here. This one doesn't have any Hurley Op additions. All right, boy. No Hurley Hop additions for you, boy. It has 100 grams at flame out, so at the end of the boil. Right, back when we're ready to sparge. I have now changed the sort of, well, I don't know what to call it, vol-off arm, this sort of extra pipe for the spray ball. So we're getting ready now for the sparge. I'm going to sparge at 78 degrees. But first we do we drop the grain bed down, and I'm going to do that quite slowly by restricting the flow, and then we're going into the kettle. I'm just going to give that another little quick rinse out first. Okay, let's go. little stall here, look. Not stall, you know, steppy-on-y thing. Oh yes, we have a transfer taking place. I'm going to do that quite slowly. You can't rush a good thing. And then as that grain bed levels off, that then becomes a filter, and I'll set the sparge going again very, very slowly and gently to flush out all of the last little bits of sugary goodness. And if I bang my head on that fucking lamp one more time, it's going in the canal. I tell you now. I don't know why I put it here. Oh, I do, because I had the work bench underneath it. You don't want to know that, do you? Right. That's dropping nicely, so I think we can afford to start the sparge. And this will also, so we're coming from here through the herms and then through the sight glass. Ready? Right, so that's the wort. That's good. That was in the herms coil, and now it's all cleared. This is just now the water. So, oops, let's turn that, throttle that down a bit. That was a little bit too aggressive. We're going to have some cleaning up to do if we're not careful. There we are. That's about as perfect a sparge as I think we want. Now that then filters fruit and grain, and then this is on a very, very low transfer into boiler. And when we're up to this mark, we turn everything off and set that to boil. Yeah, but that's going to be a little while yet. So, time to pause again. The transfer is complete. Now I know boil off on this is quite high, so I've gone up to 30. I'll drop that down to 23, and that will be what goes in the fermenter. Coming up for boil. As soon as we start getting a rolling boil, I'll knock that down to 1 element. Currently on 2, knock it down to 1, and get a rolling boil going for 75 minutes. Back soon. We have a boil. Brilliant. Oh, set a timer now for 75 minutes. That'll be alright, as it is on, it's set for 98.5. So when it gets up to that, it will just reduce the amount of power to the heating elements. So it doesn't just turn them on and off. On here, you can actually set the percentage. At the moment it's 100% of power going to those coils. Just dropped down to 54 because it's coming up to temp, so it's halved the amount of output power to the coils just to maintain that kind of what you call it, rolling boil. As what we don't want is a boil over. So that is about perfect now. We can keep this now going for the next hour. Lovely. Good. See you in an hour and 15 minutes. While that's boiling away, I'm refilling the HLT, and I'll bring that up to about 50 degrees, and that will then be used for cleaning everything down. And we've got the little, where it is, it's somewhere, the pump with spray ball that goes in that bucket, and that becomes a sort of inverted clean in place. It's not really a clean in place, obviously, because it's not cleaning in place, but you know what I mean. It goes, never mind, you'll see later. Right, at at the end of our 75 minutes. And it's time to chuck in 50 gram of Amarillo and 50 gram of Simcoe. But I'm not. I'm going to start the whirlpool going. Ooh, steamy, steamy. And give it a chance just to cool down a little bit. Now there's something in a book I've been reading which says hop additions at flame out are probably better at around 85 degrees. So I could put it through the plate chiller just to drop it a little bit, but I'm not. All I'm going to do is whirlpool it, and ooh, it should be just starting to go. Yep, good. So I'm going to let that drop in temperature down to 80 something ish. It will go in a minute, and then chuck us ops in. About 5 minutes of that has dropped it down to 89, 88.9, 89. God, it's cold. So I'll close the shutter. And we'll throw in as ops, shall we? Oh, now I'm going to keep that whirlpool going probably for 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, just to get everything I can out of that hop addition. Doesn't look right brilliant, but there you go. I'll get my spoon and give that a titchy little stir in a minute, and then when that whirlpool's finished, we take this, goes into the plate chiller, and this we replace with that. Good. Right, almost there. We are at that critical stage now where we've finished the whirlpool, and I've exchanged that pipe for this filter assembly, which essentially is a spool tube with a bazooka filter in there. Clive Sillis's idea. On YouTube, look for Norfolk Hillbilly, and big Y filter, also Clive's idea. That then comes up into this assembly going into the plate chiller with another little Y filter, belt and braces or what. This here is to relieve the air lock from the top, same as that one there. Cold water in, cold water out, both go out through the shutter. So next, and that there tells us the temperature on the output from this PT100 probe. Ooh, exciting, eh, boys and girls? So first we open this. Do you know, I've fucking done it again, haven't I? What isn't connected here? Something not connected. That's connected. That's connected. So where's that leaking from? It's leaking from... Oh, it's that bastard tube there. Oh, fuck it now. Right, I'm going to pause for a second. Ah, such fun. Okay, here's the thing. Really, just needed a couple of these, oops, Jubilee clips. Because of the angle of that bend, it's too tight really. So I think what I'm going to do is adjust this so I can have more of a sweep. Anyhow, right, well that was good. So we can turn that on. That on, probably won't have a leak. No, good. Let some of the air out. Hey, caught it in time. Oh, no, there's a bit more air there. That's good. Oops. Right, I think that should have got most of the air out of there. So then this comes down, right, this comes down to here, up into here, and then into there. So let's turn that on. Let's see if we can do this without flooding. Right, so that's now going through the plate chiller. If you watched the last video, you'll see why I'm double checking pretty much all. You see that? Didn't check that. Double checking pretty much all of these cam locks, because we don't want a repeat of last time. I think that's pretty much most of the air out of there. Ha! Feel lucky? Let's turn the pump on and see what we get. Who bloody Ray? Look at that. We got cooled watt. Ah, going in at 16.5, 16.2, 1. Oh, I'm going to restrict the flow a little bit on the water, because we don't want it too cold. That seems to have stabilised it. Good. It's going to go at 18 anyway. So we have a good flow, and we don't have any leaks by the look of it, which is good. And look how quickly that is going down. So that plate chiller is going to do 25 litres in less than a minute, down to 16 degrees odd. What a stunning bit of kit that is. Most expensive thing I think I've ever bought. Well, for this hobby, obviously. Some people would say you're a Yorkshireman, that's the most expensive thing you've ever bought in your life. But it's not. Right, good. So this is now going down beautifully, beautifully. We shouldn't get too much wastage. The airlock thing has worked. A treat. I'm very, very pleased with the way that these, not airlock, you know, air release vents ideas. So we are now, oh shut up, what are you going for? I don't know what that's on for. Probably told me to start cooling. I might have started it a minute or two too early. Never mind, who cares. Hi. While we was waiting for the whirlpool, Charlotte has decanted the fish food. Fish love this sort of stuff. Alright, so that is now nearly done. Fantastic, look at that. So I think with any new kit, that sounds like it's almost empty now. Oh, yeah, that's nearly empty. We'll keep it going a little bit more, just to get the last remaining dregs out of there. And how are we doing here? Yeah, we've still got odd little bits coming out of here. Then we will do a measure. That's down, look, quite cold is that. I'm going to turn that off now, because I don't want to run that pump dry too long. Can't see quite how much is left in there. Good couple of litres, I should think. Now, question is, what do I do? Can't really tilt this because this assembly. Yeah, hadn't thought about that, had you? Do you know what I could do is just pour it out through a sieve into a jug. Right, I'll think about that. Back in a minute. Gonna have to look at the wastage that we get in now. I've just taken about 2.5 litres from the bottom of there through that sieve, which has been dunked in star san, into the fermenter. We have, ta-da, the fermenter in here, setting it for 20 degrees. I'm going to take a hydrometer reading and then I'm going to chuck us yeast in. Right, next. Right. That's how effervescent it became. Now, problem. I need to get me little bean out, or flea as some people will call it. Quick fight with a stack of neodymium magnets. You know. Oh, come on, for fuck's sake, Martin. Get a grip, mate. Right, so if I put that there, and then that there. Oh God, that's not going to work, is it? Right, take that out. One day I will learn to use well, get a grip and start to use a tripod. Here goes my yeast. And I've saved my bean, my little erect bean. Right, this is the important bit now, is get this fucking lid on quickly, because every second that lid's off increases the risk of contamination. Right, I'm going to get that lid on and the airlock in. Into me bottle of star san. That is now good to go. Right, gravity. 1050. Yeah. Oops. Yep. 1050 we're going to call that. So that's not far off what we wanted. What did we want? I don't know. Looking at this, we wanted 1053. I think we've probably hit 1051. Possibly, I don't know. Maybe 1052 wants that. Oh, difficult to tell. No, 1050. I don't know. We'll call it 1051, shall we? Right, what next? Gone, blimey. Hang on. Good. That's not a bad day's brewing. No massive spillages. Almost hit some targets. Not far off. I've got a lot of other stuff to do today, but mainly, guess what? Clean up. So, I hope for everybody, I'm going to stop saying so. I hope for everybody who's watched this, that has been fun and a good use of your time while locked up. I'm currently flushing the plate chiller, back flushing the plate chiller. Then everything gets nuked with, well, I'm going to use some caustic first, and then I'm going to run some caustic through all the pumps and lines. Then it'll go upside down on there. You've seen all that before. So for now, with our Brew Day New England IPA, I hope that's been fun. If it has, would you please consider subscribing to this little channel? That would be beautiful. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. We will be back when it's time to taste it.